Most people think a Google business profile is a set it and forget it online business card, and it's not. You're probably using the same approach as the 50 other guys at the bottom of page 10 on Google, wondering why you're not in the top 3. Now, the people in the top 3, they're not doing anything special, they're not lucky, they're just doing these 4 things that you're not. And these 4 mistakes are going to make Google think that your business is extremely low trust, which is why it's not showing your business near the top, meaning you're not going to get any calls or any leads. Hi, I'm Will, co-founder of What Websites, and over the last 12 months, we've audited hundreds of Google business profiles, and we've also generated nearly 1,000 leads for our clients across the UK through the use of Google business profiles, websites, and SEO. And if you give me the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you guys the 4-step approach we use with all of our clients that forces Google to put them at the top of page 1. Right, let's jump straight into the Google Business Profile Mastery Guide. The 4 pillars that we're going to get into today is, first of all, the setup. Second of all, the optimization of your profile. Third of all, the weekly activity. And last, we're going to get into the secret stuff that we do for all of our clients that skyrockets them and basically multiplies the output of all of these other things. So, number 1, setup. This is super simple. Anyone can do it at home, but if it's done wrong, nothing else is going to work. So the first thing of the setup is the business name. You want to use your exact trading name. So if your trading name is company limited, like fully spelt limited instead of LTD, you want to put company limited. You don't want to put the wrong version because Google will penalize you because we need to keep the name consistent everywhere on the internet. The second thing is your primary category. Now this, you have to get 100% accurate because this is going to have direct influence of what you're ranking for. So we'll take an example. If someone is a landscaper, your primary category wants to be landscaper, not gardener, because you don't want to show up for something similar to what you do. You want to show up for what you do. Now, there is a very easy way to know what your primary category should be, and that is look at the top 3 of your competitors in the area, have a look what their primary category is, and just copy them. So really quickly, how you get your competitor's primary category, just type in what you do and where you do it. So electrician Derby, scroll down until you see the map pack, which is this part here. Click on your top competitor, and then you just want to go down to suggest and edit. You click this button and you can see the primary category here. So they've put electrician, and then the next one, if you suggest and edit, they've put electrician, and the next one, they've also put electrician. So the likelihood is if you do any sort of electrician work, you want to go with electrician. It might not be that simple for other things, like for example landscaper, you have landscape gardener or landscaper, and like just basically have a look what the top performing one is and then choose that one. Secondary categories, again, just as important as the primary. If you offer multiple different things, you obviously want to put both of them on there. Do not get categories mixed up with services. They are different and we'll talk more about them later, but categories is the core thing that your business does. I'll use a landscaper as an example again. The primary category for a landscaper is landscaper. You don't want to sit there and do patio paving installer, driveway installer, all of them things as the secondary categories, because they're not categories, they're services. Your primary thing is landscaper, and them things will come under services, which we'll talk about in a bit. Now, why does this all matter? It's because choosing your category will tell Google what searches you want to show up for. So if you choose the wrong category, you're going to be ranking for the wrong audience, which is obviously something we want to avoid. Now, the next thing is super simple, but you have to do it right, otherwise you're going to get penalized. It is service areas and contact details. So service areas is pretty self-explanatory. You want to list every town, every city that you work in. Don't try and pad it out and expand it. Just stick to your local services that you do. And if you expand in the future, you can always expand this radius, but just do the towns that you genuinely service and you genuinely want to do work there. Phone number, super simple. You just want to use the same phone number everywhere on the internet. That is what NAP consistency is, name, area, and phone consistency. You want to use a local number where possible because people trust local numbers more, and it needs to be the same on your Google business profile as it is on your website and all the directories that you might be on. Next thing is your address. Now, I hear a lot of people saying they don't want to put their address on there because they don't want people knowing where they live and all of this lot. That's completely fine. You can hide it from the public. You just have to put your address on so Google can verify you and you like live there and you service that area, but you can completely hide your address from the public and only you can see it. But for example, I live in Nottingham. I can put my address, my house address, and just hide it and say I service Nottingham, and I can still get a Google business profile. And as I touched on lightly earlier, NAP consistency is name, address, and phone number. They must be identical everywhere on the internet. So if you've got a citation, if you've got, for example, you're on somewhere like My Builder or you're on Check a Trade, anything like that, your name, phone number, and address want to be the same across everything on the internet. Now, for your opening hours, what I like to tell people is you want to set up your opening hours for hours that, first of all, you're doing work, and second of all, you would answer the phone. You want to keep these accurate and up to date because Google is going to penalize you if you're not answering the phone during your open hours. You decide what opening hours you want to stick to, and just make sure that during those hours you are available to get on the phone and or actually carrying out work during the day. Now, your business description, this is the first important part of trying to get you to rank higher than your competitors. This is something that people are going to read. This is something that Google is going to read, and it's your opportunity to stand out from the crowd. By default, you want to mention your key services and what area you do them in. And I would also recommend putting in your USP in that business description. For example, if all the work that you do comes with a 2-year guarantee, I'd put that in the business description because that's something your competitors might not have. But only list things that are true and you genuinely do offer, because again, if it's found out that this isn't true, Google is going to penalize you. It's all about building trust with Google and making sure everything that you put online, you actually do. Now, if you're struggling with your business description, I'd recommend using AI tools like ChatGPT. There'll be a prompt at the bottom of this video somewhere, and you can put that prompt, just change your obviously trade and service area into ChatGPT, and it will give you a pretty decent business description. It's not going to be as good as people writing it for themselves that are professionals, but for people that don't really have a clue on how to get started with writing a business description, this is going to be fantastic for you. Save you loads of time and look pretty decent online. So yeah, just use that. There'll be a prompt somewhere in the description and a link to ChatGPT. If you don't know what it is, it's just basically an AI, kind of like a Google search. You just put your prompt in and it will spit out an answer for you. You can copy and paste it into your description. Now, the main thing to take away from the first pillar of setting up is this isn't going to skyrocket you to the top of Google. It's not. But without doing this, the rest of the things can't work. So you need to make sure this is correct first before we get into the next pillars. Real quick, if you haven't already, go sign up for our Google Business Profile Mastery Guide. It is my gift to you guys. We go deep into every single topic so that you can dominate the local map pack and get more calls this year. It's 100% completely free. It's my gift to you guys. There will be a link below, so if you're interested, I'd recommend signing up now. Pillar number 2 is optimizations. This is what separates a profile that exists to a profile that actually generates leads. So the first thing I mentioned briefly in pillar 1, services. You want to make sure all your services are filled out properly and you write exactly what it is that you do. So back to my landscape, for example. If you're a landscaper and you offer patios, you offer paving, you offer decking, you offer artificial grass, turfing, driveways, whatever it is you offer, you want to make sure all of these services go into the Google Business Profile with a proper description. And again, if you're struggling with your description, use something like ChatGPT to give you a baseline. Human written content does perform better in general, but if you're really struggling and you don't know where to start, use AI. It will help you massively. Now, the next thing, and one of the most important things that people aren't doing, photos. You want to have loads and loads of photos of your work on your profile. If I was to choose a random business online and I've never seen any of their work and they don't have any pictures of anything that I can look at, I'm probably not going to pick them. Whereas if they've got real photos of their genuine work, maybe like before and after photos, and they've got, let's say, 20 plus pictures, and I can see 20 different projects that they've done, and I can see it with my own eyes and go, damn, they're really good at what they do. Their work looks fantastic. I'm more likely to get in touch. It's just as simple as that. Make sure you've got real photos on there and you're putting photos out sort of all the time. And if you're just starting out a Google business profile, I'd aim to put at least 20 photos on them, because the profiles that have more images will get more impressions. That is just how it works. Some of the profiles that we manage have over 300 photos on there of genuine work that they've done. So just make sure you're getting photos on there. It's something that you need to do, and it's to show off your skills. So yeah, just use it as a portfolio. Just be like, there's all my photos, go look at it. Now, another thing that affects the optimization of your profile quite a lot is reviews. So how do you actually get reviews? The first thing you're gonna want is you're gonna want your review link. And while you're at it, you might as well get your QR code as well. And this is how you do that. So for desktop, you're going to want to come to your Google Business Profile dashboard. All you do is you log into your Google account and you type in your business name or my business into the search bar and you will get your dashboard. Now, once you're on your dashboard, you just want to click Read Reviews, which is this button here. When you click this button, it's going to open up this tab here. And all you're going to want to do is click Get More Reviews. Then you're here. This is where your direct link is. So this will be unique to you. It will be different to mine. Do not copy mine. You want to go and get your own link. So this will be your review link. Same for your QR code. It is different to mine. Do not copy mine because you're going to be sending out review requests for my business, not yours. You want to go onto your own desktop and get your own unique link and your own unique QR code. So to copy the link, all you do is click this button and it's copied. And once it's copied, you might want to save it on your notes on your phone. You might want to save it in a Word document just so you've got it forever, or just remember how to get here and you're all sorted. For the QR code, what you're going to want to do is right click it and click Save Image As, and then save that image, send it yourself on your phone or anything like that. Just make sure you've got the QR code saved. One thing that we like to do that works very, very well for getting reviews is automated follow-ups. So you've done the job for the customer, you've asked them for a review and they haven't done it. You can then put their email into a flow and they are going to get automated reminders basically asking for the review till they've done the review, or it's been, let's say, 3 reminders. And after that, you'll be like, okay, they're not going to do it. It is what it is. But following up is fantastic and it gets slept on a lot. So just make sure you're following up, either manually do it or automate it. So it's very, very easy for you. Now, consistency is very, very good here. Getting a constant drip of reviews is really, really good compared to a profile that hasn't had a review in 2 years. Because if a customer is looking at that, they're going to think, oh, this profile did something a day ago, 2 days ago, a week ago. They're open. They're going to do what I want them to do. But if I look at a profile and they haven't had a review in over 2 years, I'm going to question, are they still open? Have they done any good work in them 2 years? Do you know what I mean? So make sure you're getting reviews constantly. They are very, very, very important. I can't stress enough how important they are. So yeah, reviews, very good. Now, the third pillar is one that not a lot of you are gonna like to hear, but it's weekly activity. As I mentioned in the intro, a Google business profile is not set it up and forget about it. It does require some maintenance, and it's gonna require about 10 or 15 minutes of your time every single week. So in this chapter, I'm going to tell you exactly what habits you need to be doing to skyrocket the performance of your Google business profile by just sticking to this consistently. So there's only 4 things that you really need to do for your Google business profile. The first one is posting updates. So on your Google business profile, there'll be a section called posts. And essentially, you can make a post kind of like what you do on Instagram or Facebook, and you can post on your Google business profile updates about your business. Say, for example, you've just completed a project, you can put before and after on there, or you've just acquired a new van or new tools or equipment. You can basically make a post about that. I like to tell people aim for 1 a week, if not 1 every 2 weeks. It doesn't take a long time to do. Just take a couple of photos and then just put together a mini description, put it on there, same way you would do with an Instagram post. So another way you could do it is if you're posting on Instagram consistently, just take the posts that you was going to put on Instagram and put them on Google. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just a mini social media type feed, and it helps quite a lot. Now, updating your photos. Now, we mentioned trying to get 20 photos on your account. You want to be uploading photos all the time. And these are way easier than these because you don't even need a description for the photos. You just take the photo and you upload it. but just make sure you're only doing finished projects kind of for the photos here, or if you want to put it together in some editing software to see like the before and after, you can do that as well. But for the updates, you need a description. For the photos, you don't. So they're really easy to get loads on. I like to tell people that obviously whenever you finish a project, just post that project photo on there. So if your projects are dead quick, you can get loads of photos on there. If your projects are slow, and just put on as much as you can, and then maybe supplement in some pictures of you and the team, or you with the material, or you with the van and equipment and stuff like that. That's how you get more photos on there. Now, the third thing, which you kind of touched on a little bit ago, is making sure you're asking for reviews consistently. We touched on this quite a lot earlier, but I want to hammer it home. Asking for reviews is so important. Reviews are the lifeline of the GBP. They are like the most important thing ever. So reviews. And if getting reviews is really good and benefits us massively, then it's only right that we respond to all the reviews as well, as responding to the reviews is almost as good as getting a new review. Imagine on Instagram where you've got a comments and it tells you the total comments. If something has a comment and then someone replies to that comment, it then tells Instagram that video has 2 comments, even though it's only 1 and a reply from the owner saying like thumbs up or whatever. It tells Instagram 2 comments, which is going to push it up in the algorithm. Sort of similar to how the Google business profile works. If you've got a review and then you've got a response to the review, Google can see that you've responded to the review, and it's going to push you up even higher because Google likes it when you interact with people that are interacting with your business, and they're going to push you up and they're going to see you as active, trustworthy, and new people that are coming in are going to see that you've responded to reviews, and they're going to like it as well. They're going to be like, oh, this person's really nice. This person looks like they know what they're doing and can probably do the project that I need them to do. So responding to reviews is just as important. So just to cover kind of what an inactive profile looks like compared to an active profile, and you can just put yourself in the consumer's shoes and think, which profile are you going to look for? Because that's essentially what Google does. They put themselves in the consumer's shoes and they say, right, which one is the consumer going to like the most? Is it this one or this one? And that's how they decide where you rank. So inactive profile, last photo 8 months ago. It's not looking good. No posts in over 6 months. Still not looking very good. 3 reviews that they've never replied to. And they was from 2 years ago as well. Not looking very good. Q&A section completely empty, and they haven't gone up the rankings in Google in forever. There's no website. It's not something that looks very good. Active profile, on the other hand, you've got weekly photo updates. You've got regular Google posts going up. The person who owns the profile is responding to every single review. The Q&A has all the Q&As that the consumer could ever want to know, such as like pricing or like, do they need planning permission or whatever. Any sort of information they need, it's already there. And then finally, consistent movement up Google. I mean, that just helps with Google rankings as well. You can see if you put yourself in the consumer shoes, you're going to think, well, this guy doesn't look very good. This guy looks like he knows what he's doing and is servicing a lot of people. So this guy can probably do what I need him to do. And thus, Google recognizes that, pushes you up the algorithm, and then you get loads of phone calls, and it's really good. Now, finally, the last thing, the secret sauce that I've been keeping from you for the entire video is the website and SEO. Now, how does website and SEO play into my Google business profile? That is a very good question, and it's because this is the multiplier. Google looks at everything on the internet. It doesn't just look at your Google business profile to decide where your Google business profile ranks. It looks at everything. It looks at your website, it looks at your citations, it looks at your reviews on Facebook, it looks at literally everything on the internet about you. So if you've got a website and SEO, that is just going to compound all the effects that the first 3 pillars have done and push you even higher. Now, this is a famous quote that I came up with myself. It is, Google doesn't just look at your profile in isolation. It looks at everything connected to your business online. And your website is the biggest trust signal Google can get. Now, why is this a really good trust signal? Well, a proper website, first of all, tells Google your business is legitimate, it's established, and it's worth showing to searchers. Because if you haven't got a website in 2026, what are you really doing? I don't know. Anyway, consistency. Same name, location, and services on both your site. GBP sends a powerful confirmation signal to Google that everything is connected, everything's doing as it's supposed to be, and you are a legitimate business doing legitimate business services across the area that you've said you're doing, and there's photos to back it up, and Google think, wow, this guy's really good. Now, the multiplier, this is what I mentioned earlier. Doing everything I said earlier in this video is going to move your Google profile up. You're going to outrank all the other Google profiles that don't have a website, and you're going to move up. It's going to be fantastic. But a GBP and a website and SEO is a combination that's going to get you to the top 3. Because you're not going to get to the top 3 because they already know all of this. The people that are at the top getting phone calls every single day while you're at home not getting any phone calls, they know all of this. So the only way you're going to beat them is by doing all of it. Now, what makes your website good for making your GBP go higher? NAP consistency, we've touched on this loads. Name, address, and phone number needs to be the same everywhere on the internet. I cannot stress this enough. Everywhere on the internet, same thing. On-page SEO. Now, this is quite a complicated topic. This is to do with like page speed, keywords, making sure you've got the right header tags, alt tags, meta descriptions, meta titles, loads and loads of stuff that we're not going to cover in this video, but making sure you have on-page SEO is very good. And we'll have more details about what on-page SEO is in another video. And we do have another help center document about what is on-page SEO and kind of what you can do at home for free to kind of sort this out. But realistically, it's kind of a bit of a specialist topic. Obviously, we specialize in it. So if you need anything, hit us up. And then mobile optimizations. Google will not rank your website very highly or your Google business profile very highly because everyone's on their phones nowadays. If your website looks really crap on mobile, likelihood is Google ain't going to rank it. So yeah, just make sure everything looks good on mobile too. Now, just to show you the difference between doing pillars 1 to 3 compared to doing all 4 pillars, we're just going to have a quick scenario. So if you've done everything in the first part of the video, pillars 1 to 3, you're going to have very strong local visibility. Thumbs up. You're going to have a consistent lead flow. Thumbs up. Your rankings are going to have improved. Thumbs up. And you're competitive in most of the areas you serve, which is fantastic. And you've got significant results. Great. So what's the point of doing all of this if this is already good? Well, this is everything else on steroids. Everything else has been amplified. You're ranking for not just the maps, but your website as well. So you've got 2 points where people can be finding you essentially. And if you've got 2 points where people can be finding you, you're probably going to be getting double the amount of people finding you. And you're going to be able to compete for high intent searches, which is fantastic. High intent is kind of like the customer already knows what they want. For example, a high intent search would be, I need a patio installer in Nottingham right now. Whereas a less intense search would be landscaper in Nottingham or just landscaper on its own. You can see the difference in searches of I need a patio installer in Nottingham now compared to I just want to have a look at some landscapers and maybe decide if I need something. It's significantly harder to displace. Your competitors are going to have a lot harder time dropping you down the ranks because they're not going to be able to get up to you if you're ranking up constantly and you've got a website that's doing really well. So fantastic. And you are going to dominate the results. So here, significant results. Over here, you're going to dominate. You're going to rank above all of your competitors and do really, really well and fantastic and get loads of results. One will work without the other, but not the way it should. And that's how you need to treat this. All of this is going to get you very good results. All of this is going to 10 times them results. If you want to be above average, do this. If you want to be exceptional, do this. It's as simple as that. Now, a lot of you are going to walk away from this video and you're going to take a lot of what I've said and you're going to do something about it, which is fantastic. And if you do, you've made it this far, likelihood is you're going to start doing some stuff. You're ahead of maybe 90% of people. Now, where all of you are going to fall off is none of you are going to stay consistent. You're going to do it for a month or 2 months and you're going to be like, this is crap. I'm not getting any results. William promised me loads and loads and loads of results and I'm not getting anything. Well, that's because 90% of all the clicks on Google happen in the top 3. So if you go from position 60, where 0% of the clicks are happening, to position 20, where 0% of the clicks are happening, you're not going to see an impact. But you are going to go up them rankings, which is fantastic. But as soon as you break into that maybe top 15, where you start getting like 1% of clicks, or you break into the top 10, where you start getting like 2% of clicks and stuff like that, that's where you're going to see the massive influx in results. So you need to stick at this for a long period of time. You just need to bury it into your routine. It needs to be something that happens every single month. It needs to be something that you do consistently. And by 6 months in, you're going to be, oh my gosh, thank God I started this. I've started getting 5 calls a month. This is fantastic. I'm closing an extra job every month. I'm making an extra 5 bags. That is great. But then you're going to hit the top 3 and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I've gone from getting 1% of all the clicks to 30% of all the clicks. And now I'm getting 30 times the phone calls and 30 times the jobs. That's fantastic. Obviously, all of these percentages, we have a graph that I will show at some point in this video. Like position 1 gets like 25 times more clicks than position 10. So let's say you're at position 60 here, and over here you're at position 10. You have gone up massively. Instead of getting 0, you're getting 10 or 15. But then when you go to position 1, you go from 10 or 15 to like 200. It's literally that big of a difference. So make sure you're doing everything every week. So the summary of this video. Pillar 1, the setup. You need to get it right. This is very basic, but it needs to be right. It needs to be correct. Pillar 2, optimize it. You need to turn your profile into something that people want to engage with. There needs to be photos on there. There needs to be stuff people can see. It needs to have reviews. It needs to have a business description, and it needs to look like something people would click. It needs to look good. It needs to look better than your competitors. That's optimizing it. Stay active. This is the routine that you're going to do. You're going to make a promise to yourself that you're going to do it for the next 6 months. Once every 2 weeks, you're going to do the photos, you're going to do the posts, and you're going to respond to all the reviews. 6 months later, profile would have completely transformed from nothing to, oh my gosh, I'm in the top 10. My profile looks amazing. I've got 100 photos on there because I've been doing it every project I've been doing, and it's fantastic. And finally, website and SEO. If you want to absolutely dominate the local search results, that is what you need. That's the last step of the puzzle. That helps all of these 3 just amplify everything and just makes them shoot off to the stratosphere and gets you loads and loads and loads of leads. Now, just the last thing from me, most businesses are not going to do anything that I've spoke about today. So if you do, you're going to be ahead of most of your competitors. You're going to make loads of money. It's going to be fantastic. And if you need a website, you need SEO, you need any of that stuff, just contact us and we'll be happy to help you out in any way, shape or form. I've been Will, and that is my mastery guide on how to dominate the local searches with your Google business profile. And it would mean the world to me if you guys subscribed, because we're putting a lot of effort into this content. We've got a lot more coming. Tom's going to be on the YouTube channel soon. Big up, Tom. Come make a cameo. Hey. Right, Tom's going to be on soon, so yeah, there's lots more to look forward to. If you don't like the sound of my voice, maybe you like the sound of Tom's. And yeah, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.